All right, thank you guys. If I start coughing, just excuse me in advance. I want to thank, just echo what everyone else said about their thanks for all the media showing up today. I know the SIDs do a lot of work in this conference to promote our league and promote our different institutions. Appreciate all that you do. Our Director of Communications, Jake Knovel, does a great job. Appreciate 1011 coming up from Lincoln to be here as well. Devin Smith, our Director of Athletics, and Angela Muller, our Associate AD, they do a lot of work behind the scenes. I'd be remiss not to thank them, and as well as our cabinet at Concordia and our leadership in Brian Friedrich. He's done a lot of great things in his 15 years as president, and I really appreciate him. I want to thank our staff back home watching this right now. Jim Collins has a book called Good to Great, and he talks about getting the right people on the bus, but not just getting the people on the bus, but getting them in the right seats. I felt like last year we got the right people on the bus, and now we have the right people in the right seats, and so I'm excited about our staff and the work that they've been putting in. We learned a lot from our campaign in 2018, took away a lot of lessons from it, and we're looking forward to applying those to 2019. In my 16 years at Concordia, this was one of the most unique off seasons we've ever had. We made a decision as a staff to pour into our weight room in the off season, and along with our head strength coach Todd Berner, we really poured into our current roster and challenged them, and really have appreciated how they've stepped up in a day and age where there's younger generations often labeled as selfish and soft. We believe there's still some gritty, tough-minded, selfless people out there, young men, and we think that we filled the locker room with them. We love our roster. We appreciate everything that they do. They do a lot of work, and I'm excited to get them all back on campus next week. Defensively, our linebacker group is our most veteran group on our team. We return all of our starters at linebacker, at inside linebacker with Lane Napier and Derek Dahowski, both from within 40 minutes of Seward. And at outside backer, Zach Walter is a tough 8-man kid. Riley Bilstein as well will be back at those spots. Coach Ostin, our defensive coordinator, and Chris Shipley, our inside linebackers coach, they always maximize all of our talent at that position. I know that we'll get the most out of them, and expecting a lot of production from our linebacker group. At defensive back, Wes Coombs and Demarie Martin are our defensive backs coaches, and I know that they'll do well with our group. They got a lot out of our spring ball group, and we expect them to get more out of our group this season. If we can keep this group healthy, they have a very high ceiling. They put in a lot of work in the off season, especially this summer, sticking around and really getting some quality reps in, and getting bigger and faster and stronger. Really excited to see that group take off. Defensive line is coached by Ron Jackson. We have a good blend of experience and youth up there. Aaron Rudloff, Gary Newcoop, we expect them to have a breakout year. We got a guy named Caleb Geiger, who was in the baseball program, holds some records for them, who's just a bull in a china shop. He was out with an ACL last year, and we're excited to have him back in our defensive line for 2019. Offensively, we have a lot of ground to make up from last year. Reggie Corbin has taken over as our offensive coordinator, and I was very pleased with the progress that they made in the spring. Really excited about what he's doing with the offense, along with the rest of our offensive coaching staff. Grady Cook is going to be our offensive line coach. Tanner Farmer is going to work with our fullbacks and tight ends. Vaughn Thomas is going to be our running backs coach, and James Danauer is going to be our wide receivers coach. Expect a lot out of that group, hard-working group. I'm really excited to get to work with some of those guys, with all of those guys. Running back, Ryan Durden has kind of been our guy. He's a very dynamic ball player. He came in as a wide receiver. We moved him to running back. Did a phenomenal job at that spot. He had a breakout sophomore year last year. Didn't have as much from a yardage standpoint, but really carried the load for us when we needed him to at certain times during games. He was all that we had going, and really felt like he will have a good senior year and take a step up from where he was. We also have some other returners coming back from injury, and guys who haven't gotten as much spotlight in the past because Ryan's gotten the ball so much, and we hope to get them the ball more. But really, as a group, we don't really care who gets it. And that's what's great about Ryan and the rest of those guys is they're selfless. Tight end and wide receiver, we have probably the most returners numbers-wise of any group on the team. Art Anderson, Correll Colmoose, Logan Kriesel, Lane Castaneda at wide receiver have all had a lot of catches for us last year. Brady Fitzke and Garrett Sharp played some tight end, some Y for us last year, and did a really good job. Excited to have them back. Up front, we have a ton of players who were thrust into starting roles last season that we didn't really want them to be in or that early on in their career, but they did really the development of that group from where they were at last year to what Coach Cook has done with them as we head into August is really exceptional, and we're excited to see that. We need that offensive line group to improve. That's our most important need as far as a group of guys to step up and play. We expect them to do that. Quarterback, we plan on playing one. We don't have that guy named yet. We probably won't until our first game. And we're bringing in multiple quarterbacks to compete. We have guys coming back to compete at that position, and we expect improvement there as well. On special teams, if whoever wins the job at quarterback, if he's our best missile, we'll throw him in on special teams too. We really feel like special teams are a difference maker, and I think no one up here would disagree with that. Coach Courtney Meyer, who I played for at Concordia, when he was the head coach when I played, he does a great job with our kickers, and excited to see our specialists. We did graduate our 4-year starter at long snapper in Adam Christensen, and we will have an open job there, but we certainly recognize the importance of special teams and the job that Coach Meyer's done with our kickers and the work that we're doing with them throughout fall camp and into the season. Last year we were optimistic. This year we are confident. Our off season has positioned us to be in a position where we are feeling good about where we're at from where we have been, and we're really excited for 2019. It's a confident group. A group that's put a lot of hard work in. Excited to see that pay off. I love our university. I'm a product of grace and second chances. And Concordia is a place that embraces that. In John 1, it says, "A light shines in the darkness, and the darkness hasn't overcome it." I think as coaches, we have a unique opportunity to shine light in the darkness. And our staff wakes up every morning with passion and purpose, excited to serve our players and teach these guys the lessons that football brings. I think that this stage is a great representative of college football coaches. There's not a scumbag up here. I wish there was. It'd make it easier on Saturdays, but these guys are great coaches. I'm proud to be a part of the GPAC and this group of coaches. We're excited to get going, and we start on August 8th is when we have report date. Any questions? All right, thanks. Nope, got none.
How important is it, you said confident this year, last year optimistic, this year confident. How important is it not to repeat last year, because that'll put you behind the 8 ball, behind everyone. It's really tough to catch up there. So being that confident, how important is it to be at least 5-5, or 6-4 this year, opposed to another 3-win season?
The question was, how important is it to not repeat last year? I don't think you really focus on repeating last year. I think you take things one step at a time. Focus on having a great weight training session the day that you're in there. One good film session at a time, and I think that stuff stacks on top of each other. And at the end of the day, the score takes care of itself if you've done all the simple things right. Yep.
And how's the offense going to change with Reggie in control?
Hopefully they'll execute better. I think we're a bigger, faster offensive line. Maybe a little more experience at wide receiver is going to help us. Durden staying healthy will be key, but we also feel really good about our running back position with some other guys as well. Tight end spot, we got some returners, so we have a reason to be confident as opposed to last year, just kind of not knowing what we were going to face. Just some familiarity helps.
And you mentioned the weight room before, and you mentioned it again. How much does that play, improving the weight room and getting the guys in there? Is that kind of one of the biggest things you've done all season is the weight room? It's
the biggest thing that we've done. It's the biggest thing that we do, and between Todd Berner and Eric Lundberg, our trainer, our athletic trainer, I feel like we have made great strides with our off-season training. We're really excited see that showcased on Saturdays.
Is that something that was lacking kind of in the weight room, the off-season training?
I don't think it was lacking. The question was did we not lift as hard or maybe not as smart maybe in the past? I think that we've applied a lot more effort as coaches to be present for our off-season weight training, especially the December, January, February grind. We were in there pushing those guys every day. We didn't all jet off and recruit the week after the season got over. We poured into our roster, and we expect that to pay off this season. Thank you.